Saint Anastasia was arrested and told to give up her belief in Jesus. She refused and was buried alive. Saint Joan of Arc was captured, put on trial, and burned at the stake. Saint Castula was tortured and buried alive in sand for refusing to renounce Christ. Saint Margaret of Antioch was burned in oil. She was ultimately beheaded. She's the patron saint of pregnant women, childbirth, and those falsely accused. Saint Catherine of Alexandria was arrested and sentenced to die on a spinning torture wheel. When she touched it and broke, she was then beheaded. Saint Lucy was arrested and tortured. Her eyes were painfully removed. She's the patron saint of the blind, eye disorders, and riders. Saint Agatha was arrested and tortured. They cut off her breast and never stopped trusting God. Saint John the Baptist was imprisoned by King Herod. They put his head on a platter. He's the patron saint of baptism, converts, tailors, and against storms. Here lies Saint Denis, who was a bishop. He was arrested and beheaded. He picked up his head, walked several miles while still preaching. He showed his courage and devotion to God. Here lies Saint Maria Goretti, who was attacked by a young man and stabbed 14 times. She forgave him and is the patron saint of purity, youth, teenage girls, and victims of assault. Here lies Saint Hippolytus, who was dragged to death by wild horses. He was remembered as a brave follower of Christ. Saint Agnes was arrested and sentenced to death. She was bravely beheaded. Saint Philomena refused to marry the Roman emperor because of her vow to Christ. She was brutally scourged, thrown into a river, and ultimately beheaded. She is the patron saint of infants, youth, and impossible causes. Here lies Saint Sebastian, who was tied to a tree and shot with arrows. He survived, but was later beaten to death. Saint Eustace was burned alive inside a bronze bull. Saint Justina of Padua was stabbed in the heart. Saint Apollonia was arrested, had her teeth knocked out, and was thrown into a fire. Saint Landina was killed in the arena by wild animals. She is the patron saint of servants and slaves. Here lies Saints Felicity and Perpetua, who were killed by wild animals. They are the patron saints of mothers, expectant mothers, and butchers. Here is Saint Victor. He had his foot cut off, was crushed under a millstone, and beheaded. And the ultimate martyr, Jesus Christ, who died for our sins and made a way to heaven for all of us. Unlike anything you can imagine. Some say the restless spirits of those who suffer have never left, watching silently in the shadows. If you listen closely, you might hear the faint echoes of their prayers, their cries, and their unshakable faith that refuse to die even in the face of darkness. Enter if you dare, but be warned, the souls of this place still haunt the night, proclaiming their love for God.